It's Week 16 of the 2042 season, and we'll get a look at this team's leader at quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. The action is only moments away. Next on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for our visitors here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 2nd and 5. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envision a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Now a first carry here for their running back. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 68 yards. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4, still 3 yards short, 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
And his kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the 1st. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That one is caught by Hunt. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
And they bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And he's been one of the most consistent pieces of their offense all year long, no doubt. Shouldn't be much of a surprise then to see him among the league leaders in rushing here late in the season. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now they try the right side here. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. But you look at this defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league. 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff running through the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 78 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So now for the second time already here in this quarter, on comes the field goal unit. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 5.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So they bring out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable here for Davis.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot or running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Sacks a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. They'll look to throw here. And he completes it to Hunt. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play. And he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it. And he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
Well, the home team's offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a 2nd defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this 1st half.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
2nd down and 8.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. On play action, they'll throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He finds his man complete. It's Hunt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime.
If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Options galore here, second and a few inches.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's the option.
And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
And on now is the punter, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So possession goes over here on the punt. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
They'll set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Norris. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains, because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Thought that might be the goose egg breaker. Still stuck on 0.
Yeah, this is still a tight game, too. We got to keep that in mind, because that miss there, you hang your head, you let it affect you the next time you go out there, then you've really hurt your ball club. Get yourself together. You might get another opportunity, and they're going to count on you to put it through the posts.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
40 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the old.
And he clocked it up. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They're going to look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 41, here's 2nd down and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
And that is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line.
So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
This 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That one is caught by Hunt. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
They'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hunt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
2 yards to go, second down.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 6.
That's into the hands of the rookie from Florida.
And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Able to shake him, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for the home team here, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again